Don't let your mornings be boring. Switch it up and start your day with a bang.
Omukwano alone, it means love. For example, if I say Nino Mukwano erigwe, it means I love you.
You know what it sounds to me? Sounds like I have a friend who is stupid. You know the emphasis on the kwe.
Ate mkwe pikida.
Mkwe pikida. I'm coming to pick you.
Catch the Morning Switch Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. only on 106.1 Next Radio.
NBS Live at 9.
I don't know how long you have been here, but years ago there was a dance called twist. I don't know how many of you remember that, but talking twists, there's a new twist in the Besigye case, and that has everything to do with security concerns. Still talking twists, there's also another twist in the Mufumbiro case that has everything to do with people pleading guilty. We're not done. I'll also tell you something else that is on the cards this evening. Those who lost in political races have gone to farming. If I was farming, I'd also reject those who are coming to me as a last resort. Let them go back somewhere. But the headlines like me. They also like you. We'll see you. Dr. instructs his legal team to stay away from the case for safety reasons.
The rule of law is totally under attack.
From 450 million shillings to run 27 political parties.
Legislators question the law on funding political parties, call for amendments.
Be a new funding mechanism, 70 equal share, 30 numeric strength.
Emotions run high as Ugandans return from South Africa.
I had to run somewhere far, so it's been not easy.
They say that they feed up foreigners. What do? You have to pack your things and go back home.
Many of them could not lay hands on anything to come back with.
A slap in the face for NUP as three of Mfumbiro's co-accused plead guilty. Where does this leave the rest? NBS at 18. We look at how the station covered Pope Francis' visit to Uganda.
We decided to take on the mantle to produce this massive event.
This is NBS Live at 9 with Samson Kasumba.
Still smiling about that picture of King Karisa in the NBS Back 18. I can't wait to get to that story. But for now, we'll begin in court, where the bail application and it is a hearing of embattled opposition leader, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Kifefe Besigye, and his co-accused, Haj Obed Lutale Kamlege, failed to take off after the defense team boycotted the proceedings. Dr. Besigye, who stood alone in the dock alongside Lutale, told court that he had instructed his lawyers to stay away from the case over what he described as serious security concerns. That's the new twist we begin with.
The anticipated hearing of the bail application for Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haj Obed Lutale failed to proceed after the defense bench remained empty. Before the scheduled hearing, the two accused had written a 5-page complaint to the judiciary dated July 1st and received on July 2nd, 2026, outlining what they described as unfair treatment and growing security concerns surrounding their legal representation. In the letter, Dr. Kizza Besigye stated that they instructed their lawyers to withdraw from the proceedings, urging that their safety could no longer be guaranteed. When court convened, Dr. Besigye and Haj Obed Lutale walked into the dock as directed, while the defense bench remained vacant. Addressing the court, Dr. Besigye reiterated concern contained in their letter of violation of his rights and threats of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba blocking Kenyan lawyer Martha Karua from participating in the case, and the arrest of lawyer Erias Lukwago, actions he claimed were intended to intimidate members of his legal team. Dr. Besigye told court that although they desired to be released on bail, he would rather remain in detention than expose more lawyers to what he described as persecution.
We asked Senior Counsel Martha Karua to come and help us in our defense. And to lead our team.
The prosecution asked court to dismiss the complaints. However, Justice Emmanuel Baguma deferred in his ruling, saying he would first address the human rights concerns. The ruling has been scheduled for July 8, 2026 through the integrated case management system.
Let's for a minute remain with our major story, because there is a rare turn of events in here in which retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye's decision to instruct his lawyers, and we're talking defense lawyers, to stay away from court over safety concerns and alleged improper handling of his case has since sparked debate among legal experts. It is constitutional lawyer Isaac Ankunda believes the move amounts to a form of protest against the operations of the judiciary and reflects a loss of confidence in the justice system.
When you look at the letter written by Dr. Kizza Besigye and his co-accused, there are two key important issues in that letter. Number one is holding the judiciary accountable. He's saying, look, my lawyers are not allowed to represent me and have a right to be represented by lawyers of my choice. Number two is saying the way you're conducting the entire process is not constitutional. It's not according to justice. You're not a court of justice. You're actually going to, to make me suffer injustice. He's telling court, look, I have numerous applications. I'm not so sure that you're handling them the way they are supposed to be handled. So he's calling upon the judiciary to be independent and accountable. He's trying to protest the way the court process is going. He's trying to show Ugandans that, look, our justice system has got certain issues. To me, I look at it as also a protest letter. To me, these are the two important things.
We'll move away from matters court and get into humanitarian work. It is the first batch of 273 Ugandan sons and daughters of the soil that have touched down at Entebbe International Airport Friday morning in a government-orchestrated evacuation. Now, the returnees, many arriving with nothing after their property was destroyed or seized, broke into cheers upon landing, marking an emotional end to a harrowing ordeal and experience in the midst of rising xenophobic violence. 3 Ugandans have so far, unfortunately, lost lives in anti-immigration attacks in those we thought were with us, the South Africans.
Emotional scenes unfolded at Entebbe International Airport as 200 fleeing violent attacks. Emotional scenes unfolded at Entebbe International Airport as 273 Ugandans touched down after fleeing violent attacks targeting foreign nationals in several South African provinces. Many of the returnees arrived with nothing but the clothes they were wearing after their homes, businesses and personal property were looted or destroyed.
They've been telling our landlords to chase us out. If not, they can burn their houses.
Even my shop was robbed, everything was taken. Now I have no anything to start from.
Many of the returnees arrived with nothing but the clothes they were wearing after their homes, businesses and personal property were looted or destroyed. 3 Ugandans were killed in the violence. Government says the evacuation follows a directive by President Yoweri Museveni to rescue Ugandans caught up in the unrest. The operation is being coordinated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, security agencies, the Ministry of Works and Transport, the Uganda High Commission in Pretoria, and leaders of the Ugandan community in South Africa. Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Kasolo, described the evacuation as a demonstration of government's commitment to protecting Ugandans living abroad. He revealed plans to arrange a meeting between the returnees and President Museveni and assured them of support towards their reintegration into Uganda's economy.
The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Diaspora Department and other partner agencies, is putting in place mechanisms to support your reintegration.
Uganda's ambassador to South Africa, Paul Amoru, says many Ugandans abandoned everything as the violence intensified. According to the ambassador, businesses, homes and other property belonging to Ugandans were destroyed, leaving many families with no means of livelihood.
Many of them could not lay hands on anything to come back with.
The president of the Confederation of Ugandans in Southern Africa, Moses Chibombo, praised the Uganda People's Defence Forces and the Chief of Defence Forces for supporting the rescue mission.
Have any Sangomas also returned? We will find out a little later. Let's go to matters funding of political parties, and it is the National Consultative Forum, an umbrella body for political parties, that has asked Parliament to amend the Political Parties and Organizations Act to remove or increase the current cap on foreign funding for political parties. The call was made during the 4th day of MP orientation at Parliament, where discussions focused on how political parties can operate effectively and efficiently whilst running parliamentary business.
The chairperson of this forum, Godfrey Chwanda Suvi, together with Gerald Suranda from iPod, told MPs that the limit of 400 million shillings only that political parties can receive from outside the country is too small and cannot enable the party to mobilize and expand across the country.
That you see me talking about, I must be the least funded organization in the country.
These advocates of political parties argued that the Faith Nyakot amendments ignored the core amendments that political parties had wanted to strengthen the existence and operations of political parties in the country.
It receives only 450 million shillings a year. What can you do with 400 million shillings? The full organization with the office. And that's why you would hear so much about NCF, but you don't hear about it.
We went to the iPod processes and we agreed that there should be a new funding mechanism. 70 equal share, 30 numeric strength, and then the other 15, it goes to the iPod processes. That has not come to pass.
During the orientation, MPs were divided on whether political parties without representation in Parliament should receive government funding.
Political party must have cultivated capacity, at least to be represented in Parliament. Because once a political party now joins that leadership at that level, then they start picking that role of helping the current government to manage our political environment.
Government, when it says that some political parties are misusing external funding to affect the nation.
However much government wants to inject money into political parties, but there is no rule of law, I don't think that even the money will help. We have so many political prisoners in prisons, right from foot soldiers, the elites also in prison. We have Dr. Besigye, we have Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, I don't think their issues are about money.
They also want government to fast-track and present to Parliament amendments on the country's electoral laws.
For context and perspective, I'm going to be joined by DP Vice President for Northern Uganda, the Honorable Eliandro Komakech, to discuss the state of party funding and how that is affecting political parties, and he definitely joins me live. Honorable, since the passing of the sovereignty bill, what has been the major impact and effect on the funding of political parties, if any? Since the passing of the sovereignty bill, how have political parties been affected as far as their funding inflows are concerned?
Well, I think look at how political of 62 to 71, you would realize in Uganda at independence. And of course, by that time, the framework was all about the parliamentary system, which allowed parties to be measured depending on the strength in parliament and also on their. There were 2000 and multi-party, all about the strength in parliament in the presidential system. But of course, if you look at analytically, you find out that there are a lot of gaps, there are a lot of loose ends that have not been tied since that time. The amendment of the Political Organizations Act actually allowed that depending on strength, that is how you got your money. But then we have challenges of how do you progressively build capacities of all parties that come to play. So that agenda has been left loose to date. And I think it is now the responsibility of IPOD to rejuvenate this discussion. But with the sovereignty bill, it comes with a lot of clamping down on operations of foreign funding that should help the current discussion on political in the context of the sovereignty bill and how civil societies have all become victims of the same thing. So the debate is quite loose out there. It's quite wild. I believe it is in the interest of political parties to retable this agenda in IPOD and outside IPOD, also in parliament, to see the connectivity within the operation of party and then the electoral laws that come along with it. So there's a lot of work that is not at all in progress. For me, that is my biggest challenge and worry in terms of how we progress in political party dispensation.
I understand that the essence here is that there should be fairness across the board. But isn't it the essence of politics that those who have power must be unfair to those who want to get it because they want to keep it? In a sense, denying them every opportunity for fair competition. Isn't that the essence of politics and fairness?
I think that works well with this the slogan of the winner takes all. I think it becomes so gluttonous in terms of my own understanding. If you think power should be asymmetrically taken by those who have it, I think it will be very unfair for society to grow. So we should have fair guidelines on how competitions should be held. You have seen, sometimes you say that even the referee has a red card, the referee has shoes that are spiking and all this. But I think we need to review. Uganda as a young democracy has a lot of goodwill, and we should not miss the opportunity to use this goodwill. Ugandans have a lot of goodwill, and therefore we need to exhaust it when it still lasts. This wild idea of saying that if you have power, you should now grab it by all means, I don't think it will be tolerated. It is not acceptable. Let's allow fair competition for this game. And for those who can win it fairly by the rules that are produced, and then it becomes very, 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 very good. I've seen in this last election on how political parties displayed the candidates and how they operated. It was quite absurd to see that the results you get is not the results that are expected. But life goes on. So we need a review. We need a very serious review, because political party operation or multi-party system or the previous movement system, they are the pivot. They are at the fulcrum of Uganda's democratization process. And the more we invest in them, the better for the future, because you can predict in terms of stability as they operate.
The Honorable Leandro Komakecha, for the last 6,000 years plus, man has been trying to learn fairness. Perhaps that is a lesson that will continue across the board. NBS Live at 9 does take a very brief break.
Your business is booming. Then one day you run out of capital. You are struggling in unpaid debts and bills. Bank of Uganda has introduced the small business funds. Are you dealing in saloons, dukas, or any other business? Ask for the SBO for all. It has a low interest rate of 10% with up to 1 year grace period. Contact your bank or SACCO or call our toll-free line on 0800 144 044. This message is brought to you by Bank of Uganda.
How do you make a party? You take time to prepare, to bring all the pieces together, to craft it right. The result, great refreshment. And that makes it time well spent. Club, brewed longer for longer refreshment.
The problem is the foundation. You know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
If whiskey could talk, Johnny Walker Black Label would sing. With notes that only come with 12 years in a barrel. Sweet, smooth toffee, rich fruit, and a touch of smoke. Tastes as good as it sounds.
There is a new era of elegance and it begins at your event. At Peno Events, we have upgraded with fresh, modern, stylish event pieces designed to transform any space into a masterpiece. From luxury tents to elegant furniture to premium mobile washrooms, hand wash stations, lounge sets, parasols, wooden chairs, modern chair set, banquet setup. Peno Events. Safe, reliable, stylish. Book now.
They share an office. Some work in the day, some at night. What they have in common: focus, dedication. That's what makes them champions. They also share something else: the reward of being one. The official beer of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Not for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
From 11 June to 19 July, every
Everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches on 4 dedicated channels, live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
Carrying cash can be stressful. The I&M Bank multi-currency prepaid card makes paying smart and simple. Load and spend confidently in 9 currencies: Ugandan shilling, Kenyan shilling, Tanzanian shilling, Rwandan franc, Indian rupees, United States dollar, British pound, euro, and South African rand. Enjoy safe, simple payments wherever you go. The I&M Bank multi-currency prepaid card is open to everyone, whether you have an I&M Bank account or not. Get yours today and pay confidently worldwide in 9 currencies.
I&M Bank Uganda Limited is regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund up to 10 million shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
I&M Bank, on your side.
Life unfolds in chapters. Through many of these chapters, Jubilee has been present. But life does not happen in separate chapters, and protection should not be separate either. 2 journeys have become one. Jubilee Life and Jubilee Health are now one. Here for every chapter, together for better. Jubilee Life Insurance Company of Uganda is regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda.
You will always know when you're in the presence of the finest. It's like time slows down, just enough for you to feel everything in full flavor.
Just Kamut Lager. Alcohol is not for certain persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Hello, Mr. Mukasa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay, sir. Are you the broker?
The original one.
I was told you have very good rentals.
That is right. How many bedrooms do you want?
I want 3 bedrooms.
Okay, did I tell you of the price?
Yes, of course. 500,000.
No. This side, the salary went a bit high.
Why?
Because the paint we use is of good quality. So the place gained the value.
Which paint?
Global paint.
How?
For the ceiling, for us we use Global Mat. And for the inside walls, we use Global Silk Vinyl.
Okay, tell me about the outside walls.
Outside we use Global Weather Coat Emulsion so that the walls don't peel.
I'm really impressed. The precision you put while painting, I'm willing to pay any amount.
That is true, because here for us quality is paramount and the place becomes humidity.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Kabalega Petro-Best Industrial Park. Imagine your business at the heart of East Africa's next industrial revolution. Welcome to Kabalega Petro-Best Industrial Park, Uganda's eco-industrial hub spanning over 7,300 acres in Hoima, home to the Uganda Refinery, the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, and Kabalega International Airport. KIP places investors at the center of Uganda's energy transformation. KIP presents investment opportunities in petrochemicals, manufacturing, agro-processing, logistics, warehousing, real estate, commercial, hospitality, ICT, and industrial services. Join us for the official launch on 7th July 2026, live on NBS TV and streamed on YouTube and social media starting at 8 a.m. Secure your place in Uganda's industrial future. Mukaije, Karibu, Uganda welcomes you. Kabalega Petro-Base Industrial Park, a project by the Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC.
Definitely welcome back. It is three co-accused persons in the case involving National Unity Platform Deputy Spokesperson Alex Waisomfumbiro have reportedly pleaded guilty to the charges against them and are now expected to enter negotiations with the government. The development does come as a court prepares to rule on a separate bail application next week.
The three suspects, including Serugoya Sin, Baruku Farouk, and Serunkuma Edwin, have admitted to the charges related to alleged military drills during court proceedings in Kawempe. Although journalists were not allowed inside the courtroom, sources indicate that the trio accepted responsibility and may now engage the government in discussions on how their cases will proceed. The development unfolded as Kawempe Chief Magistrate Doreen Ainembabazi set July 10th as the date to rule on the bail application filed by Mufumbiro and his remaining co-accused.
Court has assured us that on the 10th day it will be ready to make that determination and give us a ruling. Before even proceeding with other matters, it will determine whether it is releasing the accused persons, the applicants, on bail on that day, the 10th date, Friday next, 10th date of July.
The defense lawyers had asked the court to review an earlier decision by Grade 1 Magistrate Damali Agmasimwe, who denied the accused bail. They argued that the ruling was flawed and should be reconsidered. They also requested that the charge relating to alleged unlawful incitement against Mufumbiro be transferred to the High Court, saying the handling of the case does not guarantee a fair hearing in the lower court.
High Court has called for the file, and we have gotten assurance from this court that it has transferred that file, including the application, to the High Court, to be heard by the High Court. So from here, we are going to the High Court to fix the matter of the Honorable Waiso Mufumbiro, so that we are heard by the higher court.
We hope that the situation we've seen today can continue to prevail, and judicial officers especially uphold. We are not seeking for favors or to be biased on our side. We are seeking just for them to uphold their judicial oath and the independence of judiciary ultimately.
The Chief Magistrate agreed that the matter should proceed to the High Court, where a hearing date will be set. She also accepted to reconsider the bail application and will deliver her ruling on July 10th. The case continues to attract public attention, the supporters of the National Unity Platform closely following the proceedings as the matter now moves to the High Court.
Those female prison wardens seem to be enjoying their job. And now political parties have intensified mobilization efforts ahead of this month's local council elections, urging their supporters to actively participate either by contesting for village chairperson positions or by voting for candidates they believe best represent their interests. However, the growing involvement of political parties in what has traditionally been viewed as community-based elections is drawing criticism from some leaders. They do argue that village chairpersons should remain politically neutral since they serve all residents regardless of political affiliation.
The Electoral Commission has already unveiled the roadmap for the long-awaited LC1 elections. The current village chairpersons have remained in office for nearly 2 years after the expiry of their mandate. However, by the end of this month, every village across the country is expected to elect new leadership. With the election calendar compressed into just a few weeks, political parties have moved quickly to organize their grassroots structures. Their mobilization campaigns include encouraging supporters to update their voter registration details to be able to contest for elective positions and ensure they are eligible to participate in the polls.
These elections are critical in strengthening our grassroots structures as the DF, expanding democratic participation and deepening the party's presence in communities across the country.
The electoral process will unfold in 2 stages. Villagers will first elect leaders of the Women's Committee before proceeding to vote for LC1 chairpersons. Once elected, each LC1 chairperson will appoint 10 additional members to form the Village Executive Committee. It's against this background that the Democratic Front has urged its members to make strategic decisions during the elections. Not everyone, however, believes political parties should have a role in village elections. The acting president of the People's Progressive Party, Saddam Gaira, argues that introducing partisan politics into LC1 elections risks undermining community cohesion.
When you make it partisan, when you make that election partisan, you leave the population, the residents, when they are so much divided, sharply divided. It would be very, very good, in my own view, that LOC elections is exempted from the partisan election, if we can.
We've just come out of a population census, and the Constitution commands that every after a census, redemarcation of our electoral areas must take place. The Electoral Commission has taken us into another election without redemarcating our villages, our parishes, and our sub-counties and our constituencies.
Under the Electoral Commission's roadmap, the update of the voters' register is scheduled for July 6th and July 10th. Nominations of candidates are scheduled for July 15th to July 19th, while polling for LC1 chairpersons will be conducted on July 28th.
Here at Next Media, 2015 happens to be significant. Here is why. It was a turning point in the media industry, a year when NBS Television became a national broadcaster for the apostolic visit of Pope Francis, making it the station that carried the first papal visit of the digital era to Ugandan homes and indeed the world. He was only the third pope to set foot in Uganda, following Pope John Paul VI in 1969 and St. John Paul II in 1993. And we were on hand to do what we know best.
The 2015 visit of Pope Francis to Uganda was a historic moment that brought the nation to a standstill. As he paid pilgrimage to the Uganda Matters and engaged in 3 days of activities, NBS Television, the official broadcaster, brought every moment to life through live coverage.
Everyone was up and down to see that everything goes on well, especially the broadcast, so that everything is perfect when it came to shots, because everyone, the country was relying on us.
As the Pope walked among Ugandans, prayed with them and shared messages of peace, humility and faith, NBS TV's media team worked tirelessly behind the scenes to deliver hourly updates to audiences around the globe.
My role at that time was to supply the feed or distribute the feed to all the international broadcasters that had come to Uganda at that time. It was once in a lifetime experience. And in my entire career as a broadcaster, I have never had an experience like that.
With more than 30 cameras positioned across various sites, the political command center transformed into a religious and historic hub. Coordinating live feeds for both local and international partners became a logistical marathon. Crews navigated tight security, limited mobility and intense deadlines to ensure the highest broadcast quality.
For us, it was a masterclass of coordination, editorial judgment, and productivity.
That was a stepping stone for NBS. It was one of those coverages that we had never done, but our leaders said, you know what, we should take up this project, and through the leadership of our group CEO, by then, we decided to take on the mantle to produce this massive event that Africa has ever experienced.
The NBS Television team overcame power surges, weather disruptions, and technical delays to deliver not just a live broadcast, but a shared national memory. Unlike typical broadcasts, this was more than just a professional milestone. For many journalists, it was also a deeply personal and spiritual experience.
I was among the camera persons who were covering him inside the museum. So after making a tour around the museum and around the place, as he was moving out, at least he said hello to us. I remember touching at my forehead and he blessed me. It's something that will never go off my memory.
As Uganda stood still, the cameras rolled, capturing not just history, but holiness. For the team behind the lens, it was more than just broadcast. It was almost a temporary calling. And now, long after the lights dimmed and the Pope's footsteps faded, what remains is a memory etched, a moment when faith, storytelling, and service became one.
Rolling back the years, quite a number of those so-called young faces have since become adults. Now, former top politicians in West Nile sub-region have announced farming as their next alternative after they failed in the elections or missed a political appointment. Former Terego East Member of Parliament Mario Kania Obiga lost his ministerial position after he was not re-elected. He is now rallying the local communities to take up farming seriously as he focuses on animal rearing and perennial crops such as coffee and cocoa. Another politician is Kassiano Ezati Wadri, the former opposition strongman who has now declared himself Omutuze in the region and has been identified as a lead farmer in cocoa in Terego district.
Kania Obiga very busy as he details his political alternative for the next 5 years. This comes after his name did not appear on the retained list of ministers for the 2026 to 2031 term of office.
I've been doing what I normally do best. And what I do best is try to generate income for myself. The agricultural sector is the main field in which I'm going to concentrate.
Kania, who also lost the Terego East Member of Parliament elections, is among 4 former ministers from West Nile: Evelyn Anite, Moriku Kaduchu, and General Moses Ali, who were all dropped in the recent reshuffle.
And if I can sell a cow at about 2 to 3 million every month, I don't see an office in town here which will be getting that money from his salary after taxes. Very few.
As he looks at life outside politics, he is determined to remain a leader for the people, this time focusing his time to implore them to take up commercial farming. He is leading the course in animal rearing and growing perennial crops such as coffee and cocoa.
So that's basically what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to encourage people. As far as the providing leadership to the rest, I'm not going to run away from that. I'll remain a leader.
Coffee and cocoa have caught the attention of former politicians. Former opposition bigwig Kassiano Wadri Ezati has now resigned to spending the majority of his time in the garden, where he has taken lead in cocoa farming in Terego district.
So our people now need to be brought on board to look at crops that are of high value.
Wadri and Kania are determined to invest their time in farming and making money that will compensate for the government pass.
There is a life after being a minister. There is a life after holding a public office for some time. We have to work for ourselves, not expect everything to come from government.
However, as the former prominent leaders in West Nile take a back seat to allow the new ones to flourish, the executive director of the West Nile Development Association, Moses Akuma Odims, believes that the experience of former politicians such as Kania and Kassiano Wadri will be invaluable guide to the new leaders.
And of course, we encourage the new ministers to work with the seniors to tap into that experience and see how together we can hold hands and work with the government to develop our region.
Feedback brought to you by.
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Let's see what is happening out there in terms of responses to the question we asked on social media. And the question is, how best can Ugandan returnees from South Africa be supported to adapt? So let's look at some of the responses here. Who is there for us? Who is there for us? I'm ready to go. And that is Dr. Agria Twina supported. Why are they not working? Bantu bako. And Arifunsi, we welcome them home. Let's now face the real struggle here. Okay, and who else is there? And Engineer Emma Rugendo. It needs a multi-sectoral approach, immediate psychological support to process the trauma of displacement paired with rapid response skills, matching resettlement packages from OPM. Okay, and parish development. Social Spotlight is us finding out what our leaders are saying online. And off we go. President Yoweri Museveni, fellow Ugandans, especially the Bazukuru, greetings tomorrow at 7 p.m. I will address the country on matters of national importance. Please tune in. We definitely will give you that one live at 7 p.m. Who else is there? Major General Jim Muhwezi, Minister for Security. Welcome back home. The street of Ugandans and their property whenever and wherever is our top priority. I want to commend His Excellency at Kaguta Museveni for his swift and generous response to repatriate all willing Ugandans in South Africa at the government's expense. That is Major General Jim Muhwezi. Major General Jim Muhwezi takes us very much into a break. I mean, why do you make work hard? For us, we're enjoying our job.
MTN voice bundle. Yeah. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21 hash and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
You need a bigger space to grow your business. You need to be ready for any season.
You need faster checkouts for these busy days.
You need more equipment to meet demand.
You need to make sure everyone gets paid on time.
In business, you need advanced solutions and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
You get it. Absa Business Banking.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car Or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
Spice up your breakfast with Prestige margarine, easy to spread and fortified with vitamins A, D and E in the original and vanilla flavor, turning everyday moments into quiet indulgence. And now a delightful new experience unfolds. Introducing Prestige Fruity, a luscious fusion of creamy spread and strawberry flavor, bringing everything you love into one simple, delicious layer. No extra spreads, just pure fruity satisfaction in every bite. Prestige margarine, sprayed it, taste it, love it. Available in all shops and supermarkets nationwide. Distributed by Chapa General Enterprises, located at shop number 3, Rafik Building, Chikuwo, Kampala.
Let's talk conservation. Now, 4 mountain gorillas in Uganda's neighboring countries, that is the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Republic of Rwanda, have died of cancer within a year, raising concerns among conservation and tourism stakeholders. The concern was raised during the annual meeting of stakeholders from the Bwindi Mgahinga Conservation Area in Akabale. The meeting, organized by the Uganda Wildlife Authority, focused on strengthening conservation efforts for wildlife in the region and reviewing tourism trends across the countries that share these gorilla habitats.
Dr. Ricky Okelokwi, a veterinary doctor specializing in gorillas, said that 4 gorillas from Rwanda and the DRC died last year after developing a type of cancer known as melanoma.
Over the past year, we have registered 4 cases of melanoma. Melanoma is a skin cancer in animals, and we have registered 4 cases of gorillas having melanoma. Unfortunately, none of them survived because the cases were very, very severe.
Dr. Okwi explained how the disease was identified in the affected countries and confirmed that although no cases have been reported in Uganda, authorities are closely monitoring the situation and taking preventive measures.
So far, 2 cases in DRC, in Democratic Republic of Congo, and we have also had 2 cases in Rwanda. We have not yet had a case in Uganda, but you never know. Anytime we can have it, but we are hopeful that it will not happen.
He added that the disease is not contagious. However, gorillas that develop melanoma become severely weakened and gradually lose their ability to feed properly.
The gorilla actually dies because it cannot feed. It is so painful in that the gorillas cannot feed, so it finally ends up dying.
Other participants at the meeting expressed concern over the death of gorillas, saying the situation is alarming and could negatively affect tourism across the region and Africa as a whole.
One individual is very important in such a small community. So we would love that all gorillas survive and they live, because the more they survive, then we have more gorillas and the numbers keep increasing.
The experts also discussed the threats of Ebola, calling for stronger measures to ensure that the disease does not spread between humans and wildlife.
During this outbreak of Ebola, we've been facilitated, and we facilitated the district health 1 teams and the district health educators to educate the community, to raise awareness about the Ebola virus disease, and also to raise awareness about the impact and how people can prevent and can be prepared and how they can respond.
Therefore, we are creating awareness within the communities, informing them of the zoonotic pathways, zoonotic disease pathways from people to animals, animals to people, and knowing that they can be also refugee of this.
Worldwide, Only about 1,063 mountain gorillas are remaining, with the largest population found in Bwindi Impenetrable National Park in Uganda.
Former Archbishop of the Church of the Province of Uganda, His Grace, Dr. Lukorombi, has urged graduates to lead with integrity, discipline and service to society. The retired Archbishop made the call during Uganda Christian University's 27th graduation ceremony, where 1,274 students graduated across different disciplines, including our own. Victor Taylor.
As early as 8 a.m., parents and guardians had already taken their seats in the tent to witness the 27th graduation ceremony of Uganda Christian University in Mukono. The Vice-Chancellor Uganda Christian University, Professor Aaron Mushenjezi, applauded female students for the exceptional academic performance. He disclosed that out of the 102 graduates who attained first-class degrees, 62 were female, with Achen Don emerging as the overall best student.
60 are females, and 52 are the boy child.
Professor Mushenjezi reminded the graduates that success should not only be measured by personal achievement but by dedicated service to others and the positive impact they make in their communities.
Remember that the true success is not measured solely by the height of your personal achievements. Rather, success is defined by your dedicated service to others.
The former Bishop of Uganda, the Most Reverend Henry Lukorombi, asked the graduates to serve people with dignity, reject corruption, and become leaders who create opportunities for others. The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda and Chancellor of the Uganda Christian University, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, challenged the graduates to remain disciplined and uphold the values of the university by serving society with integrity and excellence.
I am particularly grateful that through prudent financial management, the university today is loan-free, with clean audit reports year after year, a rare and a commendable feat among institutions of higher learning.
We need professionals who refuse corruption. We need entrepreneurs who create opportunities for others. We need researchers who pursue truth. We need educators who inspire hope.
Among the graduates was the next media business reporter, Victor Taylor, who graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication. He described the academic journey as challenging but rewarding.
We call for a balanced story. We call for accurate news. We call for something that is not biased. We call for the principles that bring out that news story, to tell the story, to bring out that human interest story, to bring out that, aspect of the economy. Now that I've attained this degree, it's a plus to me.
I think every time someone attains a certification in the areas of communication, that is a national asset, in that those people are competent and able to drive the agenda of selling our lovely country.
Other graduates say the knowledge and practical skills they acquired at the university have equipped them to make a meaningful contribution to society.
Welcome to Where We Are. Now, the Ministry of Lands has officially launched a nationwide initiative to survey and register all government-owned land. The State Minister for Lands, Harriet Ntabazi, says the move is designed to protect public assets, including schools, hospitals, and government office premises from encroachment and legal disputes. Ntabazi reveals that only 23% of government's 30% total land holdings are currently titled. She says this gap has made government property vulnerable to illegal takeovers and lengthy, costly court battles. Minister Ntabazi noted that the rampant encroachment on public land has stalled several key projects, including road infrastructure and industrial park development. By formalizing titles, the ministry intends to cure these project delays once and for all.
Where government sits, land is in the possession and is in the stewardship of Uganda Land Commission. For better management of this land, we must have a national land inventory. An inventory, in simple terms, is a record which captures all government land, all government, where hospitals sit, where education installations sit, where infrastructure sits, where security installations sit, land for industrialization, urban development, and everything. Government has faced increasingly a lot of challenges because of lack of this record, arising from encroachment. We've had in many cases, very many cases, people claiming to own government land, but eventually are challenged. And now these challenges have delayed strategic investments, more especially industrialization. Investors come because there are wrangles on the land, they delay for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And this one has a cost on the projects. So the cost of the projects and expose the vulnerability that we had should end. And this must end. Government assets should be properly registered, captured, and put in proper documentation.
Business Pulse, brought to you by
Uganda's electricity capacity is expected to rise to 7,170 MVA to 7,870 MVA under the $50 million, about shillings 185 billion Uganda UK Amari Power Transmission Project. It is the continent's first privately financed independent transmission project to reach construction. The project will increase total transformer capacity and cut technical grid losses.
Ceremony held at Mbarara South Substation in western Uganda underscored the deep Uganda-United Kingdom partnership and attracted Energy Minister Dr. Monica Musenero and British High Commissioner to Uganda, Her Excellency Lisa Chesney, and UK Development State Minister Jennifer Chapman, among other stakeholders.
And then if you can face each other...
The Amari Power Transmission Project, valued at $50 million, approximately 185 billion Uganda shillings, marks the continent's first privately financed independent transmission project, ITP, to reach the construction phase. Speaking at the ceremony, Jennifer Chapman, the Minister of State for Development in the UK, said the project reflects Uganda's leadership in clean energy and its efforts to strengthen transmission infrastructure to support economic growth.
It speaks to Uganda's amazing leadership on clean energy. Your electricity mix is almost entirely renewable. It's reliable, it's clean, and it's affordable power for Uganda. And it's improving the transmission that will make a real difference.
Uganda's Energy Minister Dr. Monica Musenero says the project is a key pillar in Uganda's industrialization drive and broader ambition for tenfold economic growth over the next 15 years.
The project will strengthen our transmission capacity in a critical zone and also at this critical point. It strengthens the 4 strategic substations, the Tororo 1, Nkenda, Mbarara, and Mbarara South.
Musenero added that the government is prioritizing infrastructure investments that do not rely on public borrowing.
A new ideology that we should not just build transmission capacity for its own sake. We build it because every additional megavolt ampere is a claim on our industry, a mineral processing plant that can now connect, an industrial park that can now come up, that can now be powered, a commercial farm. Is really an enabler of this industrial drive in our country.
You can see how certain projects are very accretive in the country, how they can unlock more generation and serve more customers. So Uganda's a good place to do a project like that, and that's why we first came here.
To come and install the equipment which is going to strengthen
and improve capacity of the grid to evacuate the abundant generation we have. So UETCL will work hand in hand with the contractors to ensure we deliver this project on time and in the quality desired.
The project is expected to run for 2 years, with commissioning expected in 2028.
All right, on behalf of UECDL, let's let you know, we will let you know on behalf of UECDL what is going to happen very soon. The following areas will be off supply from the 4th and to the 5th. That is to enable our supplier, Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited, to safely carry out critical maintenance works along the 132 kV Kampala Northern Namamve transmission line. These are works are ongoing Kampala Metropolitan Transmission System improvement projects that are expected to significantly boost power supply and the affected areas, that is on the 4th to the 10th, that is Kyambogo University, Kabaka's Palace, Kyambogo Ntinda Road, East African Road, and parts of Ntinda Industrial Area. The areas are from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. only, so you can watch your World Cup. The affected customers are advised to plan accordingly during this period. If your power supply is not restored by the scheduled time, please reach out to us through our toll-free lines, and those are the lines. Any inconveniences caused are highly regrettable. And I can tell you, I've tried these things. Once you reach out, they actually do respond quite efficiently and effectively, I can tell you from a personal experience.